Alright guys, in this video we are gonna test our native module on Android, but first we need to do a few things. We are gonna create our route navigation, and we are gonna create a couple of screens, right? The first thing that we need to do before we do that, we need to add a few things to our grade app. Actually one thing, so let's copy and paste that, and that's because we are using this OK HTTP client, right? Remember we utilized that over here, so we need to actually add that to our grader, right? Once we add that, we are good, and actually this should be down here, and now we are good. Let's continue adding the other stuff that we need. So first, this is our example app, and we need to add a folder here, and we're gonna call it src, and here we need to add folder. I'm gonna call this navigation, and then I'm gonna add another folder here, and we're gonna call it screens. And now that we have that, we need to install our navigation, right? So let's install that. Let me pull our terminal here, and let's remove this example because we don't need that, we are already there. So let's start our navigation, and I'm gonna create, while that's installing, I need to create a couple of files, right? Let me put, oh, actually everything looks like everything went okay. So now let's create a file. I'm gonna add it, I'm gonna name it like main nav, right? .ts. And then here I'm gonna create two files. One will be the home.ts, and the other one will be we're gonna call it network inspector.tsx. Okay, perfect. Now I'm gonna copy this so that way we don't lose too much time. So let me go ahead and copy that. And so this is just React Native code, guys, so we don't need to explain too much, just basic navigation. Now let's copy the home screen, right? This is just React Native code, so that I'm assuming you already know some of this stuff. Let me save the navigation. What's wrong with the home screen? Let me see. And then home. Now we should be good to go. And there is another problem here, and we need to fix that. So should be here. And let me just add this boilerplate, and then let me fix this as well. So that should be good to go. And let's test our oh, one more thing I forgot. Okay, now we need to add the navigation to our entry point, right? So basically it's this. So we need to delete this code, we don't need that, and also we need to delete this, and we just need to import our main navigation here, right? That's basically all we need here, and we should be good to go. And we can delete this, we don't need it. So now it's much cleaner. And let's run our terminal. Let's see, we should see the app up and running. It looks like our application is running just fine, everything went okay. And now we have our home screen, and then we have the network inspector, right? And the one thing that we need to do is work in this screen in order to see our native module in action, right? So now let's take a look at how we communicate with our native module. First thing that we need to do, let me go to our network inspector screen, and I'm gonna copy and paste some of the code so we don't lose time. And I'm just gonna explain three main important parts in this code, right? Because everything else is React Native code, and I'm assuming you already know React Native, right? So the important part, let me save this and let me refresh my terminal because it didn't get the changes. Now we see the changes now. The first two important parts are the network entry, and the network entry, it shows the TypeScript types for our data, right, that we are gonna load here at the bottom. And then we have the network inspector, and this is the very important part which basically exposed the functions that we wrote in our native code. JavaScript calls the native functions, these ones, and the native code captures the network data. Then the native code sends it back to React Native, and React Native just re-renders that data. So that's this one. And now we have another important part here, which is the network, the listener. Basically, inside the use effect, we subscribe to a native event called onRequest, right? And this has to match with this one, guys. So that's the native event. And that means that whenever the native layer detects a network request, it sends that back to the JavaScript, right? Happen when one of these event fires, we add a new entry to the top of the list, right? Which is this one right here, and we add the old one to the bottom, right? We're gonna see this in action just so you take a look at it. So here is the UI, and basically we need to start our network inspector, right? If we don't start it, it will tell us that we need to start the network inspector, right? So the first thing that we need to do is to start our inspector. So now it's on, and then we can do a HTTP request. And now, as you can see, everything went okay. Now we can load our entries, right? And the way we do it just by pressing this button, and now we have our entries here, right? And this is what happened here, right? So we are communicating to our native module this way, right? Through JavaScript. So basically, it is all of this. And now when we do a new one, it's basically we are receiving a new entry. It's gonna be at the top, right? So let's do HTTP and let's load the entry. And as you can see, it's on the top, and the first one is at the bottom, right? And when we have an HTTP, it will tell you the time it took, the protocol, and if there is an error, it will let us know, and the warning that is insecure, right? And compared to this one, the same thing. We have the time that it took, the protocol, the errors, the warnings, and there is no warnings because it is an HTTP. In the next video, we are gonna take a look at the iOS code for our native module. So stay tuned. See you in the next one. Thank you for watching.